Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever is your time. Welcome to Real Men's Talk Show, where it is sizzling hot, interactive, and transforming. We are in the series, The Male Figure. As mentioned in our previous episode that last time, that a male have different positions and responsibility to the people in this life, different points in his life. In this episode, we are going to be looking at brother as in sibling. We're going to be looking at different issues about siblings, which include favorites versus non-favorites, bullying and taunting among siblings, handling betrayal brother, protective brother, jealousy among siblings, rivalry, high level of wickedness among siblings. We're also going to be looking at trading relationship for money and material things among siblings, conspiracy, secrecy among siblings, invited to good things versus hiders of good things, incest, forgiveness, trust, supportive brothers, caring brothers, and leadership among siblings. Here with me in the studio are my co-hosts who are going to dissect the topic with us. We have in the studio Mr. Oluwalere. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
We also have Dr. Samuel in the studio. You're muted. Okay. Good evening, Dr. Samuel. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Can you check your headset? Can you check your headset? Your earpiece, please. Hello, Dr. Samuel. I think he's having some issue with his mic. You might go out and come back again. You can go out and come back. You are muted. Let me see if it's from my hand. Okay, it's from your hand, not here. I think it's your earpiece. I think it's your earpiece. You can go out and come back. I think it's your earpiece.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's your headset.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
Good evening, viewers.
Good evening. Good to have you. So on the episode today, we are looking at brothers. And when we look at the first brothers' relationship in the Bible, it's Cain and Abel. So let's start with the issue of career, the choice of career. We discovered that Cain was a farmer and Abel was a shepherd. So in the family, when you have siblings, does that mean that if, let's say, the eldest one did a particular career, does that mean the younger ones should do this, follow the same path of career? You know, in some families, you have set of 7 lawyers, you have set of 10 medical doctors, engineer, like that. You're muted.
Hello.
Yes. Did you hear my question? Mr.
Not
Oluwalere,
at all.
your
Your
mic
mic is
is
muted.
muted. Press your mic. Dr. Samuel, I can hear you. Mr. Oluwalere. Your mic is muted, Mr. Oluwalere. Your mic is muted. Dr. Sam, you can go on.
I didn't hear the question well, please.
The choice of career, we said that the first brother relationship in the Bible is Cain and Abel. And Cain was a farmer and Abel a shepherd. Is it compulsory that siblings should go the same path of career choice, like having 7, 8 lawyers, having 10 doctors in the family, all of them are engineering and the rest of them?
Thank you very much. The way the world is going now, we are getting to know that most of the profession our kids may choose, most of them have not even been founded. Most of them have not been started. Like, who knows if 20 years, 30 years ago, information technology was not in vogue. People were thinking of studying nursing, engineering, law. But now, people make more money in information technology than what they will make in medical practices. And that's how things will continue to change. There are a group of young Chinese scholars that were sent to America. They were sent to study the future course, not even the current course. Courses we'll be talking about in the future. Artificial intelligence. People are already talking about it now. People are talking about a robotic car, robotic engineering, talking about robotic surgery. Definition in which you can be in Lagos and you'll be operating a patient as a doctor in Kano just by sitting on your computer. These are future work. Future work is getting to the point in which, why do you have to fight at war? Why can't you just get a robot to do the fighting for you? Genetic engineering is on the increase. So the era of a man or the parent trying to force a child to study a particular course is becoming obsolete. So nobody, is only God that determines what someone make up from a profession. If I actually tell my colleagues, don't pick up a profession, a field of study, just because you feel there's money in it. Things can change. Things change so fast. So for a family to say they're having 10 doctors, I've heard of such families in India where all of them are not only doctors, they are ophthalmologists, 26 of them. But doesn't still make you to be successful. You should get this clear that people see you as a success, but its fulfillment comes from you. You may be a governor, may be a president, you will not be fulfilled. You may be a doctor, you will not be fulfilled. So I think children should be studied, well guided to make informed consent of what they want to be in the future, and not that everybody is forced into the same line. Cain was not rejected because he was a farmer, and Abel was not accepted because he was a houseman. That was not the reason. It depends on what you make out of your profession. These days, this country, if you are not in certain profession, people believe you are inferior to others, and it's not supposed to be. In Western world, you pick your profession. People don't have to have PhD, masters. With your diploma, you pick your profession, you are doing well. So I don't believe in brothers that because I'm a doctor, that all my kids must study medicine. No. There are professions for them to pick. You just need to guide them and to pray to God. God's willing, they will get something. But I've known of a particular family in which their breadwinner studied education. Other one that studied engineering, they still look up to the person that studied education to make money. So it's God that blesses, not what you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere,
Good
are
evening,
you
viewers. Yeah, I'm
all
here.
right? Okay. Still talking about Cain and Abel.
Are you hearing me too?
Yes, we can hear you. Still talking
Yeah.
about Cain and Abel.
Well,
Yes,
I
you
hear
can.
you. I hear you. Yeah.
Let's say their parents taught
You
them how to
see,
give. We are still talking about Cain and Abel. Let's say their
okay.
parents taught them how to give,
Okay.
and they told them you can give what you have. But we are not sure if they taught them what to give. But we can see that Abel gave the fattest and his first fruits. And that got him good results. God was pleased with him, which was what caused hatred by his brother. You realize that some children, that the way they do things, they are exceptional. They go extra mile in doing their things. So when somebody have a brother like that, is it enough reason for the other person to be jealous?
Thank you. You see, the idea of being jealous has to do with individuals. And that's why you see that at times you have two children, maybe twins, and you see them behaving in different ways. You get me? So, no matter the orientation you give your children, at the end of the day, the individual differences will sort them out. And that's why you discover in a family, you see some people, they are open-minded, some are close-fisted, and that's the case you can see in Cain and Abel. No matter the orientation you give them, that character trait will still come out. When you are stingy, you are stingy. When you are open-minded, you are open-minded. And that's why you see some people, no matter what they have, to give her a little out of it becomes difficult for them. And there are some, no matter how tiny what you give to them is, they get joy in sharing it with others. And that's what played out between Cain and Abel.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Samuel. Dr. Sam?
Cain,
Yes,
however
I'm
rich
online
he
with
will
you.
be. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Okay, yes, go
I'm
on.
with you, sir.
I thought you were done.
No, however, somebody interjected me, so I had to cut him off. However
Okay.
prosperous Cain will be, he has developed that attitude. He can't change. But Abel, however poor he may be, whatever little thing he has, he will still give. So that's the kind of orientation he has developed. You discover at times it might have to do with the training they get from their parents, but there are times it might be as a result of the traits he has. So no matter the situation, whatever people have, I have seen somebody who is very, very rich, and yet you ask him for anything, he won't give you. But there are some people, however poor they may be, they derive joy in giving the little they have to others. And because someone has even forgotten, say to those who have, if you say you don't give, you are really stifling yourself. So the more you give, the more you receive. So you discover that is what played out between Cain and Abel. It's not that maybe Cain is poor or Abel is richer, but it's because of the attitude they have put up right from the beginning. I don't know whether I answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Samuel. Now, what if the excuse
Yes.
is because the parents show approval of the other sibling, probably because the other sibling is pleasing to the parents? Is that a good enough reason to be jealous?
Thank you very much. Jealousy is normal part of human. For one to be jealous is normal. Is I don't want to say it's physiological. It's just part of what you grew up with. Nobody wants you to be better than himself or herself. The only person that wants you to be better than himself, maybe it's your parents, that wish you to get something more. So at one time, when you get something more than the other person, there is tendency for the person to feel jealous. But how do you now control it? People that are not jealous, not because they don't see things that they desire from other people, but they've learned the attitude of controlling themselves, that there are some other things I have to that others do not have. Imagine your neighbor building a house or moving to his house, and yours is not house. You are sending your children abroad to UK for training. So it's just a matter of priority. So no matter what it is, people will have to be jealous. And for the parent, when you talk about showing approval to on a child's deed or not, parents, you should learn to be careful about this, because there is no way you have two friends, two kids, two wives, or anything. You would like one more than the other, and there are reasons, there are things you would have seen that will make you to prefer one over the other one. But the truth is, as a parent, you must learn to conceal this information, so that the information will not be let out. So be that as it may, even though my parent, if the parent may still show preference for a child, the other child, you just sit and ask yourself questions. That's what I do. Nothing moves me easily. Maybe people say I'm too contented with life. How can I make my life better? How can what I have seen challenge my life? Instead of you to now take the jealousy to the negative aspect of it, I use it to challenge myself. And you surely get something out of your life. Everybody cannot like you. Everybody cannot approve of your deed.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You must also ask yourself question:
Mr.
are you doing the right thing?
Okay, see hands.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
It's like his network. Is this network?
No,
okay.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. And Abel, Ken said, am I my brother's keeper? Are we our brothers? Is he his brother's keeper? Is he supposed to be his brother's keeper? That's the question.
Honestly, everything still boils down to jealousy. You are blood relationship, you are blood related. Why should you not be your brother's keeper? Who else is supposed to be your brother's keeper if not you? You are born, you are of the same father, the same mother. If not jealousy, why should you not be your brother's keeper? So it's just the matter of jealousy that's coming out from him. And you discover it's a kind of character trait. It might have been as a result of the way the parents have been nurturing them from the beginning, or it might just be his own attitude. I've seen a situation whereby people are not related and they still regard, they still treat it as if they are keeper, as if they are a keeper to the other person, as if they are related. How much more the same blood? So it's just petty jealousy. Petty jealousy. Maybe you must have looked at the way the parents have been treating the two of them and have been saying, my mommy, my daddy has always been talking of Abel at all times. Look at the situation of Joseph when he talked about his dream, and everybody became jealous. And whatever he says, they find an offense from it. So it might be those things that the one playing out today. Maybe everybody has been seeing it at home. I see Abel, he's doing this, you are not doing that. And it might be accumulating, and it might be as a resultant effect of those accumulations. That's why it's coming out. You know, if you are nurturing something and somebody tells you, either intentionally or unintentionally. You might just come out with whatever is in your mind. So that's what is playing out here. In ordinary sense, it's supposed to be his brother's keeper. Even if they are not the same father, the same mother, for the fact that they live together, it automatically becomes his keeper. So it should be a kind of symbiotic relationship, being a brother to Cain and Cain being a brother to Abel. That's the way it's supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Sam just came in. Let me admit him so that he can answer the next question. All right. Okay, you're back, Dr. Samuel.
Yes, thank
Now,
you.
the strange behavior in Cain, that's Dr.
Yeah.
Samuel. Where did he get that from? Because Abel will
Well,
least expect it from his brother that he will kill him. Where did Abel get that from? The jealousy, the thought of killing his brother. And they were from the same parents, the same upbringing. Where did he get that from? Dr. Samuel.
He's muted again. Tell him to look at his mic.
He's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
Let me be a little bit in the Bible. I believe that is the real Adamic nature in man that just came out in Cain. Cain could not really control it. You know, the parent just got cut off from God. That means Adam and Eve. Now, the real nature, that is what came out in man. Maybe Cain was not spiritual enough or was not conscious enough to control it. That is how the jealousy and what led to murder. That's what it took over Cain. In the real sense, one would have been wondering what could have caused Cain to go into such heart. But it's just the real nature. It's the nature of man to be jealous in every life. That is how it's still part of the thing that makes us to continue running, hustling, struggling about life till we die. It's part of life. It's an Adamic nature.
All right, sir. Mr. Oluwaleri.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Let's look at the favorites and the non-favorites among siblings. You can see that Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other children because Joseph had been born to him in his old age. So one day he gave Joseph a special gift, a beautiful robe. But his brother hated Joseph because of his father's partiality. They couldn't say a kind word to him. Another example is Esau and Jacob. The mother preferred Jacob. The father preferred Esau. So how should favorite conduct himself among the others in the family? My father loved me. Because of that, I want to treat any other person anyhow in the family. Everybody must keep quiet. The favorite child, how should he conduct himself among the others?
To me, the favorite should be careful because it is a way of opening him up to every other people or every other people in the family. And most of these things, when you see parents trying to favor one at the expense of others, they are creating problem for that person. So if you are a sensible type, if you are the one who is very cautious, you are the one who is very careful, once you discover everybody favors you, you must be very, very humble. You must be very, very careful. And not only that, whatsoever you do, you know they read meanings to it. And that's the main reason why you have to be very careful. If you slip your leg like this, they read a lot of meanings to it, even when you don't mean that. So because of that, you need to be very careful. You need to be
So when
very
you love,
gentle.
be more
You need to
careful.
be very humble. Because
And
whatever you do, even when you don't mean what they think it is, they will misinterpret it. So because of that, you have to be very, very careful. And that is the more reason our parents should be careful. Don't say someone is more brilliant than the other, or someone is smarter than the other. No. Treat them equally. Even if it's a handicapped child or whatever, still treat everyone equally so that they won't find fault on any. So a favored child should be careful. A favored child should be humble. A favored child should be cautious. Because whatever he does, either it connotes that meaning or not, they will misinterpret it. And that's what has played out in the life of Joseph. There's nothing bad in giving a child something special. But if you give it to him, you must try as much as possible to give something nice to others, so that they won't look at it as you trying to be special with one at the expense of others. And that's what has played out here. Thank God Joseph was just destined to be what he is. But that shouldn't be that the parents should make matter worse for him. So as parents, you should love your children equally. Don't show sign that you love one more than the other. Thank you.
thank you, sir. Dr. Simon,
Muted again.
Dr. Simon, yeah. How should the non-favorite siblings respond to this situation?
Thank you very much.
Did you hear that?
I heard you. How should the non-favorite sibling respond to the situation?
Yes.
At one time or the other, one will have been a non-favorite sibling in which maybe because of your attitude, your behavior at home, or your performances in school, you will be looked down on. It's to see that face reality. Ask yourself question, what can I do to make things? How can I impress my parents? What can I do to make them happy? Put in your, because sometimes there are things may not go your way. It's not even only in at home. It may be also be maybe in class with your teacher. It's just to concentrate more, put in your best, pray to God, and leave the rest. Because you cannot, maybe where I live, you can't satisfy everybody. You will never be favorite to some people, no matter what you do. But make sure you put in your best and satisfy your conscience. Thank you.
All right, sir. Mr. Oluwaleri,
Yes?
you mentioned it earlier in your answer the other time, but I still wanted to go further on that. Should siblings envy the other because of what their parents did for their other sibling and that was not given to them? And this also applies to life. In life, when life seems to be good to one sibling and the other kept trying, but yet to achieve those things that their brothers achieved easily, is that enough reason for envy or jealousy?
You see, it depends on individual differences. Some people, no matter what you do, it doesn't concern them. Because that's their character trait, that's their attitude. If you like, you envy every other person, it doesn't concern them. But there are some, any little thing you do like this, they become envious. So it has to do with individuals. But if you are the type that people always talk about you, they are envious of you, that means you need to be very, very careful. But if you are the type that people condemn, whatever you do, maybe your performance is very low, or maybe your attitude at home, that means you need to caution yourself. No matter the situation, just say, what can I do to impress my parents? Take for example, you have two children at home. One always comes first or second or third, or they are not the best 10 in his class. And the other one, maybe he comes last, or is always number 20, number 20 something in the class. And he suddenly discovers that each time his results comes out and he comes home, he's always being condemned. If you just sit down and say, why is my parents why are they condemning me? Okay, let me sit tight. And suddenly somebody who comes 20 something, 30 something, he comes among the first 10. There is no way the attitude of his parents will not change. Even if they still don't like him, but the attitude will change a little bit. Okay. And even if they don't change, it's not left for him to still buckle up. He will discover by the time he changes his attitude positively, there are some things he will do either intentionally or intentionally that the parents will acknowledge him. So it's left for him to sit up. It's left for him to ask the questions. Why is it that whatever I do, my parents will always condemn me? What do I need to do to encourage them? And you discover, if you answer those questions, the idea of being condemned at all times would be minimized, if not completely eliminated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel.
Yes, I'm with you.
Samuel. Yes, I want us to apply this to life. That's when life seems to be good to one sibling, and the other kept trying, but yet to achieve those things that the other brother achieved easily. Is that enough reason to envy or be jealous?
Nobody has any reason to be envious or jealous of his brother. I'm saying this because life cannot give us everything we desire or we desire. That's the truth. And for the fact that
everything we desire.
So for the fact that your brother, your sister is having it good in life, be happy for him. That may be that may be his own journey in life. If you see life as if we are on our express lane, 3-lane express road, some will be on the fast lane. They will achieve everything they want. It's as if they wrote their life, they planned it, the things were working well. At age 15, they're in the university. At 20, they have their first degree. 22, they have their master. 25, they have their PhD. They will get the best job. Sometimes it happens like that in life. So there is no need for you to be envious or to be jealous. Look at it from this point of view. All of us cannot be governor. All of us cannot be president. All of us cannot be the vice chancellor. All of us cannot be the medical director of all those federal institutions. Some are going to be there. But do you know that I would prefer my friend, my brother to be there, even if I cannot make it, to be the MD or to be the president. One day to rub up on me that his friend is a governor. Everybody cannot be the governor of the state. We have more than 5 million people in this state. And at any point in time, only one person can be governor out of the 5 million. We have 200 million. At one time in life, only one person can be the president. So if you are lucky, your brother is doing well, you should be happy for him. Why you are also praying to God, for God to open your own way, nobody has any reason whatsoever to be jealous. There is no reason. There is nobody God has not blessed. It's only when you are saying you need more or it's not enough.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere,
Yes.
you can see that when Esau went to meet Jacob, he asked him, "Who are those people with you?" And Jacob said that these are the children God has graciously given me. Is it wrong for Esau to think, how can God be gracious to such a manipulator like Jacob?
The question again.
When Esau asked Jacob that, "Who are those people with you?" Jacob said, "These are the children God has graciously given me." Is it wrong for Esau to think, how can God be gracious to such a manipulator like Jacob?
It's a question of the mind. And if you are telling lies, two people know that you are lying. The first person is God, and the second person is yourself. But in life, when one is telling you something, either it's being sincere or not, God knows. When he was saying, these are the children God has graciously given to me. Two ways. He might just say it innocently, or he might just be saying it to cause the other brother or the father to be anxious of knowing the reason why he should say that. So it's a question of the mind. We never can say whether he's using the word graciously was just to eat the father or was just to tarnish the image of the other person. Only himself and God knows. But to me, if he's sincere with his heart, I don't think there's anything wrong in saying God has graciously given me these children. And for the other party that has not gotten anybody, you should learn to trust God. I've seen a situation whereby somebody will be achieving success and will be looking down on the other person. And within the trickle of a night, the tide will turn around. And the person who is looking down upon will be the one that will be on the top. Let me give you an example. When I was still very young, I lost my daddy at a tender age. There was no money to finance me, and I was the first son. I struggled, went to grammar school, went to teacher training, finished, started teaching. And when I look at people who go to universities, reading science, reading medicine, reading law, I say, I'm definitely going to be one of them. And I try to raise money to write GC. And I have some friends that are contemporaries. They have people who give them money. They bought the form. I couldn't raise money for that year. And each of them were laughing at me. The following year, it was the same thing. The third year, I was able to raise money and wrote GC. But can I tell you something today? Majority of them, I passed my GC before they made their 5 credits. Some of them till today, because they couldn't pass maths or English, they didn't go beyond that level. Some of them, they eventually finished, but they didn't get a good job. But here am I today. So it depends. When somebody is envious of you and is trying to mock you, just put your mind in God and say, okay, God, you who has done it for this person, mine shouldn't be an exception. But that shouldn't mean you should look down on that person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel.
Yes, I'm with you.
You mentioned something that, some people were laughing at him. I want us to address the issue of bullying and taunting among siblings. In that Genesis 37:8, Joseph's brother said, so you are going to be our king, and you are going to be our king, are you? His brother taunted him, and they hated him all the more for his dreams. When they saw him from afar, they exclaimed, here comes the dreamer. Is it right for siblings to taunt one another for any reason whatsoever?
Bullying a fellow human being is a demonstration that you are feeling inferior. The real strength in man is to help others. So when you see someone that is bullying others, taunting others, looking down on others, it means he doesn't understand what life is really all about. In my little years I've spent on, I have seen events turned in the twinkling of an eye. I've seen things, dramatic changes happening that is beyond what I can explain. So let's talk about the bullying. You see, people that bully, they have inferiority complex. It's the same thing that makes people join cults, they go into cultism, they want to oppress others. They feel that what will make them feel okay, feel all right, feel like if they have a little bit of control is when they dehumanize you. It's a demonstration of inferiority complex. People that really have good self-esteem don't go around making others looking down on others because you won't even see much about yourself. Look at life. The moment you attain a particular level, it's other people that will see it special. You won't see it special. If you are still seeing it special, that means that you don't have any height you are aiming. You've seen that this is the best you could be. But if you know that there are so many other best around, you will not look down on others. Neither will you start bullying others to make them feel inferior. I think people that bully should actually work on their personality. It shows that there are emptiness. There are some emptiness in them that are trying to fill. And what will make them feel the emptiness, make them happy in a way is that when they bully others, it makes them feel at least they are in control. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oluwalere.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, from your experience, how should the taunted handle the situation?
The taunted.
The person. Yes. How should they
handle the situation? The taunted need to be very careful. The taunted needs to look before he leaps. The taunted needs to know eyes are on him. And any little mistakes like this, they talk to him anyhow. They capitalize on it. So the taunted need to be cautious. The taunted need to be careful. And the taunted need to put all his hope in God. That no matter the situation, no matter what he does, even if it is perfect, they will still bully on him that, what have you done? Nothing. And the taunted needs to waive whatsoever anybody tells him and put his mind on God. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Samuel. Dr. Samuel.
I'm with you.
Handling betrayal, brother. Should we trust repentant siblings? Betrayal, brother. Should we trust repentant siblings? Joseph had to test his brothers to be sure they have changed. They didn't know he could hear them. He had to test them to trust them again. So do we need to test our sibling before trusting them?
Thank you very much. We may not need to test them before trusting them. Trust is part of life. If you don't trust them, then and you are siblings, you are going to grow up. There are still so many fights, so many quarrel, disagreements. You still going to disagree on so many things. So you must just learn to trusting of for their sake, for your own good, for the peace of mind, for you to be able to live at peace with everybody. You just have to trust them. As for testing them, well, it depends on what you mean by test. Most of the time, if your life is at risk, I don't believe it. Like Joseph example, yes, he knows a life is at risk. Joseph thought of a life being at risk. He's not so sure his younger brother, Benjamin, is safe with them. That's why he's conducting that test. But in the real sense, they are your siblings. Where will you put them? That's why I'm putting them to test. But in a normal day-to-day activities in the family, but you just have to trust. You just have to trust. If not so, you may be going the way of Cain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere,
I'm listening.
we're still talking about handling betrayer brothers. Jacob sent gift to Esau. Can we fit it into today's life? Imagine a brother that robbed you and ran away for so many years, just sent you gifts from nowhere. How should the person deal with this?
The adage says, once beaten, twice shy. Individuals. So, no matter the total numbers of times you rob them or you wrong them, they will still trust you. But some, the adage, once beaten, twice shy. Once you wrong them once, and you discover there are some people who will trust you to a higher level. And when you disappoint them once, to gather confidence in you back takes grace. It takes time. And that is why when you betray someone at a time, he might want to look at you twice before he decides to trust you. But some, it will say, okay, let me just try him again. I've seen a situation whereby somebody betrayed the other person, and he said, okay, I forgive you. And before you know it, he does another one. Maybe that person that says, let me forgive. Before you know it, I've seen a situation whereby somebody will say, okay, come and stay with me because of the fact that you are suffering somewhere else. And he will get to your house. Before you know what's happening, he's looking for how to deal with you. And yet you will know that you will think, okay, I forgive you. And at the end of the day, maybe sometimes you get home, you discover he has stolen so many things, he's put it away. So it depends. It depends. What we only need to do is to ask for grace. Just to have grace to forgive. No matter the situations, no matter the number of times people must have wronged you. But it's normal that when you betray someone, the tendency is there for him to look before leaping the second time. I think that answers your question.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you too.
Yes. Let's go to protective brothers. Protective brothers. We'll see that in Genesis 34. Genesis 34, I might have to read because of our viewers. Genesis 34. We can see that, but Shechem's love for Dinah was strong, and he tried to win her affection. Okay, Dinah's daughter, let me just put it that way this way so that people can understand. Dinah is Leah's daughter, and she was raped.
Hello?
Him. So, to the extent, after raping her, he went to beg his own father that his father should please go and talk to Dinah's father and the brother so that they can allow him to marry her. But the brother were furious because Shechem had done disgraceful thing against Jacob's family, a thing that should never have been done. But Hamor told Jacob and his sons, my son Shechem is truly in love with your daughter, and he longs for her to be his wife. Please let him marry her. So, in the to cut the long story short, they agreed that he's going to marry the daughter, the sister. They tricked them and they killed the whole family of Shechem. Even their father was not happy with this. They were protective, it's understandable. But how do you address this level of protectiveness from siblings? Because of they are being protective of their brother, they damage a whole city. Dr. Samuel.
Yes, I'm with you. Thank you very much. Once in a while, if you grow up with boys or with family, you may have someone that will show high level of protectiveness on you. It just believe you can't do yourself, doesn't want bad things to happen to you. But if you happen to have such, the best thing to do is to continuously remind the person that you can take care of yourself. Not only to tell the person you can take care of yourself, you also have to show to the person that I can actually take care of myself. Because if Dina in the first place has shown some level of maturity by averting that situation, maybe this wouldn't have happened. So when you have a brother that is very protective, always wanting to to get your back, nothing should happen. Just have to appeal to them, explain to them that you can protect yourself, can take care of yourself, and you must show it to them. There's nothing wrong in a brother being protected, but being overprotective will actually cause harm, like what happened in Dina's case.
Okay. Hello.
We are with you. We are with you.
Oh, okay, you were talking. You were talking.
So being overprotective is good, but being overprotective will actually be deleterious, at least between the relationship of the person they are protecting and others. In a nutshell, you must show that you can protect yourself and assure him or her that you can protect yourself.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you.
Mr. Oluwalere, you're muted. Can you unmute?
Are you hearing me now?
Okay, yes, good. Yes, let's look at the level of wickedness seen among siblings. You can hear a lot of story out there. Example in the Bible is that of Joseph's brother that intended killing him. Eventually, they sold him out to slavery. Cain killed his brother. What word would you give to that person that ever abhorred the thought of murdering his own sibling?
What?
What word would you give that person that ever abhorred the thought of murdering his sibling?
Thank you. There's no word, there's no more appropriate word than say such person is being callous. It's a callous person. I have a way of life. As I am, if you ask me to cut the neck of a fowl, it becomes pretty difficult for me. I cannot. I can eat very well, but I can't cut it. The neck in particular. If he's still alive, you ask me, I come and help me kill this fowl. I cannot cut his neck. If you are waiting for me to cut the neck, that means we won't eat that fowl. Let it remain there for 1 month. But you see a callous person, you give him cutlass to cut the neck of human beings. It doesn't cost him one second. He won't think twice. And that's why you see some parents, they will sell out their children. Some parents will use their children to make money, and they won't think twice. I was watching a video of these Boko Harams where they are asking some people to renounce their religion, and some refuse. And they line them up, and they will be hitting their heads one after the other. I think the best word, the appropriate word to use for such person is that such person is very callous. Not just wicked, is callous. And such person can get to any length. So if you ask me to describe the attitude of Cain and Joseph brothers, they are all very wicked, not just jealous, they are callous. That's the best word to use for such people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel, trading relationship.
Yes, I'm with you.
Trading relationship for money or material things. Joseph brothers sold him for 20 pieces of gold. I was watching the news this week or thereabouts, and one of the guys that was caught, he cut the head of his girlfriend to give to an herbalist.
And sold it for 10,000 or 20,000.
20,000 naira.
20,000.
How do we address them? It's terrible. And these things are happening among siblings. It is those ones that are caught that we know. A lot of things are happening.
Thank you very much. I think we as a parent or an influencer, generational influencer, we should try to make people know that life goes beyond just money. People should value relationship more than the gain in relationship.
We should value
what people see in relationship is what do I stand to gain more than what you tend to gain. Because what people see, you are meeting somebody, what does it? People ask. Some of the speakers will say that you don't have friends that cannot contribute to your life. Yes, I agree. Every of our friends should have a contribution. But you should also you should also know that every doors you want to close it gently, because we need to pass through the earth at any other time. So let us see that what can I invest in people, not what I want to gain from people. How can I affect life? How many problems am I able to solve? That's what I count. Not how many people are going to influence my life. No, how many problems can I solve? I have people that call me by the day, asking me questions, and I'm always happy when I provide answer or solution to their problem. It may not be money. Most of them are not money. They may just be my expert opinion on what I feel about a case. So we should look at relationship not in financial gain, but in life. We are like water. There is no way we will not meet with ourselves. So if we see life that way, we will not be thinking that how much do I make from this guy? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Oluwalere, let's look at conspiracy among siblings. We'll still use the example of Joseph's brother. Now they said, come, let's kill him and throw him into a deep pit. We can tell our father that the wild animals eating him. Then we will see what becomes of all his dreams. They conspire against him. In this time, you see a lot of things happening, that you see siblings conspiring against their sibling. How do we handle such situations? What do we do?
When you see somebody who you regard or tag as a conspirator, you need to be very careful of him. And you need to be watchful of him. You always look at his attitude, look at his actions. If the child that goes to school, if it's a child, when he comes back from school, watch him. If he pulls down his bag, occasionally find a way of checking what is there. A conspirator will always be a conspirator. So, such person, you need to put your eye on him. If possible, talk to him most of the time, advise him, give him some Bible references to calm him down, whether he will eventually change his attitude. And no matter the situation, as conspirator, you must always put your eyes on him. You see, the Joseph parents created a lot of problem for Joseph. Right from the time he had a dream and he interpreted it. You know, the father was also saying, shall we and your brothers come to bow down for you? If it's a parent that is watchful, from that period, if he's watching those people, he will discover their attitude has even changed. Right from that time, he talked about dream. Then you discover, sorry to use the word, some parents are very careless. You know, we were saying it last week, that up to today, there are some children that will come back from school with phones that someone who is earning over 500,000 in a month will not dream of buying in a year. And you see a child that is in secondary school will bring such phones to the house, and you won't question them. And there are some parents, just common pencil. So long as they discover it's not the one they bought for you, they challenge you. Some will even go as far as following you back to school. So you discover that if such children are the type that knows if I bring anything, my parents will disgrace me, they can follow me back to school. Such people will never bring anything that's not theirs. Oh. But you see a child who brings in phone, brings in a special thing, watch, whatever, and the parents will not even say anything. Some parents will even borrow it and use it. What are you trying to do? You are encouraging that parents, those children to continue in that aspect. And if you watch critically or carefully, such people, if you are not careful, they will end up becoming something else later. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Samuel, let's look
I'm
at,
with you, man.
let's dive to secrecy among siblings. Why didn't Reuben report the case to their father? What should he have done to correct the error of the younger one, since he was not in support? Was it right to keep quiet? So we see a lot of times sibling hide secrets that are causing so much damage to their parents that can even cause the death of the parents. So what, in case like that, is that right for him to keep that secret?
Thank you very much. It was never right for him to keep such secrets away from Jacob. But the solution would have been that those stories were penned down for us to make corrections. And the lesson learned from that is we must train our children to grow together in love. There's no way they are not going to clash. There's no way they won't fight. Let's find a common ground for them. I've seen siblings that they do things in common. It's not that they don't clash. The closer they are, the more they clash, the more they see differences. But at least they still know that we are one. We may clash among ourselves, but not we are still one, despite the fact that we disagree. Not that they are one by mouth. It was never right for Reuben to keep that secret from the father. But I would have still traded the blame back to the parents. They were being fraternized from when they were young. This for the first wife, the first wife concubine, the second wife concubine, and they've been that way. And you let them live or believe that way. Well, this is the kind of things we have. I have a friend who is a Muslim. I think father had 2 wives, if I'm not mistaken. He always says something. He is a doctor, so he has more money than his siblings. Whenever we have crisis, he will always say something that there is nothing that will happen to him that his family will not take care of him. The guy was so sure of that the worst of it all, he will go back and be farming with them. And they will take him back. So we should build a family in which they see themselves as single, impenetrable unit. That's what we should build. Another lesson we should learn from that is that I make it a point of duty. The only thing that will make me flog you, my kids, if you tell lies. Even if something happens, tell me. No matter how bad it is, the possibility of you being beaten is very low. But if I get to know, without you telling me or you lie, you are going to be beaten. That one is sure. So most of them will prefer to come and tell me so that they've done something wrong. They broke their laptop. They will come and tell me, they say, Sadi, my laptop fell, it's broken. That they stand a low chance of being beaten than if I discover that thing happened. I did that intentionally because I don't want anybody to tell lies. No matter what must have transpired, I want to hear the truth the way it is. Let me know that it's damage control and will work on. Not that I will not be forcing you. I will be finding it difficult to trust you or what is going on. So it wasn't good, but Reuben, maybe that's the way he grew up. He grew up to be fraternized. He just had to look away and allow Joseph to suffer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Let's look at inviter to good things and hiders of good things among siblings. Inviters to good things and hoarders of good things, hiders. Jesus called Andrew. When Jesus called Andrew, he went to go and call his brothers. You know, some sibling, if they do good thing, maybe there's a good business though, they will go and call their brothers. Even before they do it, they think, this thing is good. They want everybody to be partaker of it. But some, after doing it, they have tested it, it's good. They will hide it, they will want it. They will want to be the only person enjoying that thing. How do you address that? Can you address that for us?
Thank you.
For people who hold good things, they don't want other people, they don't want their sibling to know about it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. If you look at the lives of the two categories, inviters and hoarders, if you take two people, you watch them critically, you see the end product of their life, you discover hoarders deny themselves of so many opportunities. The inviters, when you want others to prosper, when you wish others good, it will be better for you. But when everything you want to do is to bring people down, watch it. Watch the end product of such people. At the end of the day, they don't get to anywhere. So if you see people, maybe we use the life of children, some, when they see information, they hoard it. If the two categories happens to be among your children, call the two of them. Let them know. Those who wish others good or better, that their end product is always better. Those who find a way of stifling the initiation of others, or those who want others find a way of putting them down, is always difficult for them to get to any level. So let them know, talk to the two of them, tell them the importance of allowing people around you to benefit from you, and tell those who hoard things. And that's why you see, I use my community as a living example. You know, when I first got to my community, you know it very well. I happen to be one of the first sets to have borehole. There are some people that have borehole, they don't allow people to go into fetch water.
Yes, I know that.
They don't. And there are some people, at the time when I got in here that we don't even have lights, I'll pump water, then I've not connected it to my house. So once I fetch the GP, I have to use bucket to fetch the one we use at home in. Because when you feed the GP at times, if you are not careful, you will not even use any before they finish it. Watch those who hold. Watch those who hold. See their end product. So when you have similar children like that, tell them it is good. It is more blessed to give than to receive. And that's why they say the hands of giver is always on top. Let them know it is not good to hoard. If the little baby that has two fishes and 5 loaves of what's it called? If he has hoarded those items, all those miracles, everyone in that place would have been denied of those miracles. And hunger would have dealt with them seriously. But because the child did not want to hoard, that's why he gave it out. And look at what happened thereafter. After everyone was fully fed, the remaining one that's remaining was even the one that was remaining was even more than what he provided initially. So let them know this. Don't let them have the habit of one of our politicians of the blessed memory who said, I've not seen people eating from the crumbs from the dustbin. No. So let them know the importance of letting others prosper the way you prosper. If you hoard, let them know the implication of hoarding. You might even deny yourself of those information you think you have. When you hoard it, something you think might be right might be wrong. But when you don't hold it, you show it to them. And if there are some areas that are not okay, it is those you have decided to show it to that will tell you, no, this one is wrong, this is the way you do it. And from that, you benefit from it as well. So it's good not to hoard. And it's good to at least be an inviter. Thank you.
Said, see the end of our order. It's not always good. Dr. Samuel, can you help us to address the issue of incest among siblings?
Thank you very much. Incest is when there is sexual relationship between siblings or blood-related family. It used to be a terrible thing in those days, but now it's a common thing. And how do we? The best thing about incest is to hello? Am I on?
We can hear you. Yes, you are.
The best thing about incest is to prevent it. Incest is better prevented than managed. And let me talk about managing it first. Let me talk about preventing. In preventing incest, number one, what I noticed from my practice is that when children are unduly separated, when they don't grow up together, they won't see themselves as blood. Because I noticed that if you grow up together, even with your cousin, you will see them as your blood. So the sexual drive, what I'm saying is psychological. The sexual drive towards your family, your cousins, may not be there because you see them as your blood. So, and more so, parents, you should be a little bit careful. You study your kids when they grow up. You study every untoward attitude or activities going on. You don't just get to a certain age. You have to separate them to stay in different rooms. You have to inform the lady, this is how you cover yourself, this is how you dress. You don't expose your body unnecessarily. And it's something you have to talk to them continuously. Let them know this can, should, and cannot be done. Because when we start having incest, I've seen cases of incest in which that resulted to pregnancy. And the dilemma will now be, what become of that pregnancy? What does Nigerian law say? So incest is a whole gamut of problems that is better prevented than managed. Managing it could give a lot of headache. And in managing incest, let them know from beginning. You have to talk to them. This is the era in which a child can learn more than you could imagine from social media and digital satellite television. Not only guiding what they watch, there should be parental control. You will discuss it. Sex is what should be discussed with our kids, not what should be kept away from them. Because most of us know so much about sex. And the question I've asked people is that my parents never discussed sex with me. And I'm so sure I know more than them. How and when do I learn it? So if you don't talk to them the way you want them, your own perspective of sex, your own perception of sex and your perspective, someone else will teach them. And what they may be taught may not be good enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere. Let's go to forgiveness. What is the place of forgiveness when siblings hurt themselves, when the damage had already been done?
Thank you very much. Forgiveness, we should always look at it from the end of Jesus Christ. You know the life of Jesus Christ. He was a sinless person. He was beaten and bruised for an offense he never committed. And yet, what did he say? He said, Father, forgive them, for they know what they were doing. Abi?
They know not.
So, they don't know what they were doing. So you discover that if something could have happened and he still forgave, how much more all these little things. So at home, we should always ensure we teach the spirit of forgiveness. Forgive and forget. When you keep malice about somebody, it deprives you of blessings from God. That's why you see some people, when they attend crusades, and you see a man of God preaching or praying, say, oh, there's somebody here. If you know you have offended somebody, please forgive. It could hinder your miracle. Unforgiveness can hinder your prayer from being answered. Let them know that when someone hurts you, you keep it in mind. You find it very difficult to forgive. That could hinder your prayer. You might be praying for something for so long and God may decide not to answer you. It might be at the point that you forget, you forgive and you forget. That thing you'll be praying for. You may not even need to pray again and you see God answering you. So let children know forgiveness is an antidote for blessings. If you are expecting blessings of God, whatsoever anyone must have done to you, either intentionally or unintentionally, the best thing for you is to forgive, forget, and move forward. Let it become things of the past. Don't allow yourself to be an enemy to yourself. So forgiveness is always good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel, he said forgive and forget. Another school of thought says that forgive is not forget. Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him affectionately and kissed him. Imagine somebody that offended you, even if you think you should make peace. Does he deserve affection and love? Dr. Samuel?
Yes, I'm with you. When people talk about forgive and forget, You are not forgiving for that person. You are doing yourself a favor when you forgive somebody. Who are you carrying those load of guilt for? Who are you carrying the bitterness for? It will only hit you up, drain you of energy, of joy, of good health. So carrying someone in mind is like carrying a rotten tomato. You see the load or the smells that you are killing yourself with. So when we say forgive and forget doesn't mean you won't remember. Forgetting means that the person, you won't treat the person on the basis of the sin or the wrong he has done. That's what forgetting means. It doesn't mean that retrograde amnesia, what we call retrograde amnesia in medical terms, that forgetting the past. No. I know that you slapped me yesterday. But if I'm talking to you today, or I need to attend to you in the hospital, I need to operate you, I won't be thinking that let me pay you back. I'm not operating with you, looking at you with as if you are the one that slapped me yesterday. Not because I've forgotten, but I'm not treating you at that level. So forgiveness is key. It's not an option. If you want to live a good life, if you want to be happy with yourself. So when Esau ran to him and he kissed him, it's not that he has not defrauded Esau. You must let people know that you have no other option. There is no other option, no choice than to forgive, forget, and always restore relationship whenever there is problem.
Forgive, forget, and always restore relationship. That's beautiful. So, on the issue of trust among siblings.
On the issue of
trust.
Okay.
Trust.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Joseph shared his dream with his brother. Should we trust our sibling enough to share our dreams with them?
Thank you, man. There is nothing bad in trusting your brothers or your sisters and you reveal your dream or whatever to them. It's not even limited to your brothers, your blood relationship. To those other you feel that you can at least reveal your secret to. There's nothing bad in it. The only area you might maybe cautious is if you discover every time you reveal your secret, he overblows it or he reveal it to everyone. You get here, you hear it, you get there, you hear it. Then you might be cautious. But aside from that, there is nothing bad in trusting people. If you are sincere in your heart, if you are sincere, if you are trustworthy, you don't have reason to doubt anybody. You should believe they will reciprocate it the way you two will. So there's nothing bad in trusting people. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. So that means we can blindly trust our sibling.
You may not put the one blind. You can sincerely trust your sibling. There's nothing bad in that. But if you discover he's an extrovert person, the talking type, and that whatever you tell him or her, you will blow it out here and there, then you remain cautious. That doesn't mean you lose trust in him. But you now look at the type of secret you reveal to him. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So we can sincerely trust our siblings.
Yeah.
That's great. Dr. Samuel, Esau said, let's be going. I will stay with you and lead the way. But Jacob replied, you can see, my lord, that some of the children are very young, and the flocks and the herds have their young too. If they are driven hard, they may die. So go on ahead of us. We will follow at our home pace and meet you at Shur. Esau said that, at least let me leave some of my men to guide and protect me. Jacob replied, there is no reason for you to be so kind to me. So Esau went back to Seir. Meanwhile, Jacob did not follow him to Seir. He took his household to Shechem. So in that case, where is the issue of trust there? Esau was sincere to him, but he still did not trust Esau. So was that a wise thing for Jacob to do? And in that case, Esau might even feel offended that he still did not trust him. I think he's not online. So I'm not sure if he had the question.
I think so. Okay, yes, come back.
Yeah. Dr. Samuel, I'm not sure you had the question. Mr. Luale, can you answer the question for us, please?
So, I wasn't attentive because you were not asking me. So let me get it, please.
Okay, let me give it back to Dr. Samuel then.
Okay.
Dr. Samuel, can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
You went off while I was taking the question.
The network just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Esau wanted to stay with Jacob. He wanted to protect his family. He wanted to go with him to share. But Jacob did not trust him. So he told him, don't worry, just go. We'll come and meet you. But when Esau went another way with his family, it shows the level of distrust. Maybe he felt his family. So he didn't go with him. That way, was it a right decision for Jacob not to trust Esau? And in this situation, Esau was sincere. He was just being kind. He has forgiven him. He wants them to come back and reconcile to improve their relationship. Will it be nice or will it be right for Esau to be offended at that attitude that Jacob demonstrated, that I don't think I trust you? You can hurt my family.
Well, I don't think. First thing about trust is that trust has to do with your personality. If you are not trustworthy, you won't trust other people. You have to be trustworthy yourself, trust other people. And if you look at the antecedents of Jacob is a supplanter, like 419. So it is almost not possible for someone that is a 419 to trust you, because it will preempt every of your move. The problem is not with Esau. The problem is with Jacob. Jacob doesn't even trust himself. He doesn't trust his father-in-law, doesn't trust his wife. So there's no way. I won't blame him if he doesn't trust Esau, because there is something about trust. For you to trust other people, you must be trustworthy yourself. People always believe that others are like them. If you're a liar, you won't believe what any man is saying. You believe it's a lie. If you are a thief, you believe every other man too is a thief. So that's the problem with Jacob. It was not a problem with Esau. It's just that Jacob cannot trust and will not trust anybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lualirate, still on the issue of trust. Joseph at 17, he often tended his father's flock with his half-brothers. But Joseph reported to his father some of the bad things his brothers were doing. I want to believe that was why their father stopped him from going with them. However, he still had some iota of trust in them, which is why he still allowed him to go give them food. Was that a mistake on the father's part? Did he do wrong to have sent Joseph to them?
Thank you. To me, I don't see anything wrong in the father sending his son to meet the other brothers at the
when he
feast.
has that my brothers have been doing this and doing that to me.
What he just needs to do is to be watchful and is to be careful with them, whatever they do. But that is not to say he will not send him to them. Everyone they live in the same house. Doing that is to do more harm than good. What you only need to do is to be careful. Let them know there's an attitude you put on that will make them to know, my father is suspicious of us, so we need to be very careful with our brother. So the idea of saying, no, I don't trust them, I will not send him to them. What of if today he dies? Will he take the brother away with him? No, it's not possible. So there's nothing bad in trusting them. What he needs to do is to be careful with them, and he should always be watchful of their attitude. Thank you.
All right, sir. We are still on trust. Dr. Samuel, you know, Jacob knew he was wrong, so he ran away from home. Unlike Abel, who didn't protect himself because he had no idea his brother could hurt him. So why should one just imagine his own brother could hurt him without any justice? What level of trust should be among siblings if Abel had not trusted or believed Cain cannot hurt him? He wouldn't have exposed himself unprotected to Cain. So what level of trust should be among siblings?
Siblings should be able to trust themselves to any level. But in the case of Jacob and Esau, I believe strongly Jacob would have been killed without intervention of God. Because what he did to Esau, well, Esau was already angry and was ready to take steps. And it was based on that the mother counsel Jacob to elope or to run away, to disappear. To any level, brothers shouldn't fight to hurt themselves. Because when brothers fight to hurt themselves, it is the stranger that inherit their properties. Yeah. You should see yourself that no matter what happens, no matter what transpires, my brother, my siblings will be my siblings. And I will still protect them, love them unconditionally. This should be the anthem in the family, not talking about harming. Harming should not even come into mind if there is no foundational problem. If the family are well brought up, they've been taught. How many do we have these days? Maybe a man give out to 2 or 3 children. So 2, 3 children start fighting themselves. What happened? So we should just trust ourselves and live as one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. When brothers fight to hurt themselves, it is strangers that inherit their inheritance. That's powerful. So, to Mr. Oluwaleri, you know, Abraham sent away Hagar and Ishmael. I want to believe he did that to prevent unwholesome rivalry between them in the future. Are you listening, sir?
The line is blinking. Please come again. Sorry.
I said that Abraham sent Hagar and Ishmael away. And I want to believe that it is to prevent unwholesome rivalry between them in the future. Should there be a time they think the solution to their unhealthy relationship is to give themselves distance? Should I take it again? I noticed your line went off.
I'm trying to get it.
Should I take it again?
Well, you can please summarize it. I think I'll get it. I'm listening. Hello? 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 Are you hearing me? Dr. Sam, are you hearing me?
I can hear you, sir.
But it appears Toyi is not
Maybe our
hearing me.
network has problem.
Yeah. Can I wait for her? Hello?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I didn't get too clearly, but if I might summarize what you said, you are saying whether it is the best thing for a father to make sure when such a thing happens, she distance them for themselves. I don't believe that's the best thing to do. It's not the best thing. The best thing the father would have done is to call the two of them together and talk to them politely. Giving them distance is not the best thing. Most of the families that collapsed today was as a result of the way parents handle their situations. How do you expect the people of the same family, because of rivalry, you keep them at distance? That's not the best way of solving the problem. Like somebody who has leprosy and you are giving him paracetamol, it doesn't solve any problem. Honestly, it doesn't solve any problem. The best thing we have done is to call the two of them, talk to them, let them know the difference between unity and differences. I always say it, if you are over pampering one, you don't know when God will call you. If you are distancing them, what happens thereafter if you are no more? Most of the families that are not together today was a result of this. I don't want him to know so person. No, I don't want the wish to kill him. If he comes, no, don't get to that place. At the end of the day, what happens? I tell you, there is nothing like unity. Unity will give you peace of mind. So keeping them at distance is a way of exacerbating problems. The best thing he would have done is to call the two of them, talk to them, tell them, let them know the reasons why they should come together. Let them know the importance of unity. What he has done is a way of worsening the situation. It's not the best way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Samuel, I remember
Yes, I'm with you.
Then said something when we were trying to sort out an issue between him and a person. He said, peace is not harmony. You can be at peace to prevent, just to be at peace. That doesn't mean that we are united. So these things also happen among adults. As an adult siblings, you have grown up and there are some issues between the siblings. Should there be a time when siblings should come to a level where they think the solution to their unhealthy relationship is to give themselves distance? What's your view about that?
Thank you very much. The solution between siblings cannot be to give themselves distance. It shouldn't even get to that point. They should be able to sort out differences. It's like someone asking me, the solution to marriage is to give themselves distance. No, that is not the solution. That is not the way God wanted it to be. There is no problem that should ensue between brothers, between siblings, that they shouldn't be able to sort out. Hello, they are planning for a doomsday. So there should be, if they are well brought up and they grew up well, there shouldn't be any problem. What do you think your brother would have done to you that you cannot sort out, no matter how difficult, no matter how hard? So there shouldn't be. When there is, what's the place of forgiveness and to forget and to restore? What are those? What is the places of those things? So believe you me, shouldn't get there. It shows that the foundation, there is no foundation of love in that family. So it shouldn't get to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I'm Solu Alere. We'll quickly,
I'm with you.
I want us to do a part 2 of this. And so we'll look at supportive brothers. Some people are lucky to have brothers who are supportive, who are caring. Moses and Aaron is an example. We can also see that Jesus' brothers supported him. Then let's look at it this way. Should a younger sibling care less about a sibling even when he has the capacity to support them?
Thank you. If he has the capacity to support them and is not supporting, where is harmonious relationship there? Where is friendship? Where is oneness? Where is unity? In Yoruba parlance, say the right hand will wash the left will wash right. That's when the hands become cleaner. If the right hand is saying, I want to wash myself separately, and the left is claiming, I want to wash myself separately, the tendency is there for the two hands not to be very clean. Honestly. So, coming back to your question, there is nothing as good as unity. When there is unity, the area of differences will be covered. If one is making it, the other one is making it, is not making it. The one that's making it will cover the one that's not making it. And at the end of the day, you see all of them prospering. If you are saying, I have it, let him be on his own, then we are not preaching harmony. We are not preaching harmonious relationship. So we should learn the attitude of give and take. I am capable of having a lending hand. Nobody knows tomorrow. It might be better for you today, tomorrow might be different. Nobody prays for bad things. But the person you look down on may become the richest in the family. Let me give you an example in my village. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm back.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
We can hear you, sir.
There was an example of a relation. The father has two wives. The first wife is there, but he has a lot of children. They are well-to-do, very rich, famous. Then the other one has about, I think, 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl. And the boy was the youngest. You know, the father will always keep him away from the other people because they don't like him for anything. They look down on him because, one, he was just going to secondary school. You know, in most instances, the father will bring him, come and keep him in our house because the mother is no longer with him and the oldest wife is dead. They look down on this boy anywhere. But can I tell you something today? That boy is a professor. He lectures in the US. All those ones that were looking down on him, that they don't look at him as if he's a responsible person, that look down on him as if he's a church rat, is the one taking care of every one of them today. So what lesson does that teaches you? There must be unity. Everyone must preach unity. You must not specialize one and look down on the other one. I don't know whether that questions or whether that answers you the question.
Yes, done justice to it, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So let's see David's brother. They supported his kinship. They will have said that we could have been the one in your shoes. So how about the issues when the brother feel that what is enjoying, we are supposed to be in this place? Dr. Samuel, like David's brother, they supported his kinship. They were loyal to him. They could have said, it could have been me.
Thank you very much. You see, everything depends on knowledge. And when I say knowledge, you will know that there is nothing. Jesus Christ said it, that there is nothing. When we were talking to, I think, Pontius Pilate, said there is nothing you have that has not been given to you. There is no power. If you see it, that is God that elevates one, take ones down, that give position, that approve wealth, give a power to make wealth, you will not be envious of anybody. So if for any reason anybody is envious, is feeling that I don't want to support, I'm supposed to be there, that means he has not still seen, he doesn't still know that God, the Bible said in a place that until thou hast known that the Most High ruleth in the affairs of men, and he giveth it to whoever he willeth. So when you have that knowledge and something happened to you, you will know that the position the person is, not because he took over your position, it's because God gave him. And it will not be yours. God that has not given you has not actually given you for some reason. So if you have that at the back of your mind, the jealousy will not come up in the first place. If it's God that is sharing something, so why won't you go back to God and ask for your own? Why being envious of that person? So it has to do with knowledge. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lori, what is wrong with Esau begging his brother?
What is wrong with? Your line is breaking.
Begging his brother.
Okay.
What is wrong with Esau begging his brother for food?
Honestly, thank you very much. I've had you. Thank you. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong in Esau begging his brother for food. Even if it's not his brother, they say we should be our brother's keeper. Whoever is your next door neighbor is your brother. When people are asking Jesus Christ the commandment, the first commandment is that you must love your parents or this or that. The second one said you must love your neighbor as what? As yourself. So if you love your neighbor as yourself, what is wrong in your brother begging you for food? He's begging you and you deny him, that's an act of wickedness. To me, there is nothing wrong in you giving food to your brother. I give myself an example. If you come to my house, if you don't know me before and you get to my house, most of those you meet in my house, sometimes you think they are my children. You might be surprised that out of 6, 7, you know this. You might be surprised that out of 7, 8, 9, 10 people you meet in my house, it might only be one of my children that is around. The other might be in the hostels and in school, but you hardly get to my house without meeting people. You meet Muslims, you meet Christians, and they move freely in my house. As I'm talking to you, 2 of the children just left. As I'm talking to you presently, there is one in the house that's come to spend holidays. But even at that, you see a lot of children that are my neighbors. Particularly when there is no light, if I put on my generator, you see a lot of them. Not to talk of your blood relationship, your blood relations. To me, it's an act of wickedness if you have and you deny others. Very, very bad. It's wrong. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. It's not as if Jacob does not have this thing. it is at his disposal. Do you have any issue with Jacob? What kind of generosity will make him give food in exchange for his brother's birthright? Dr. Samuel.
Thank you very much. Jacob was not being generous. Jacob was being selfish. There is a need. Jacob has the capacity to meet that need. But instead of meeting the need...
Conveniently.
Yes, conveniently. What Jacob uses to capitalize on that to extort his brother. What Joseph did was just stealing from Lord, extorting his brother. The brother is in need, is hungry. It's not bad to be hungry. Where are we brothers? If I cannot give you food, keep you alive. Then instead of keeping him alive, he has been eyeing that gift over the years. What Jacob does not know is that even if he has not asked for that birthright, God has already promised him birthright. Because in the prophecy, God told the mother, there are 2 nations are in their womb, and 2 sets of people are in their womb, and the elder shall serve the younger. It has been in the prophecy. Jacob was just being tricky or being smart. So he doesn't need, he's just trying to help God. That's why he led himself into all those problems. He doesn't need to steal it. It's what he will get. So Jacob was not being generous, was just being a cheat, capitalizing on the fact that the brother is hungry to rob his brother of his possession. He would have still gotten to him anyway, Sha. Thank you.
Hello?
Is it John? I didn't hear his conclusion, so I didn't know when he was done. It's okay. So I'll go to you, sir, Mr. Lualere. Hey, when Abraham took care of his brother's son, that's Lot, even after his death, then how do you address the issue of unfulfilled expectation by brothers? You know, when somebody's brothers die, you have the children suffering, and the brother he has everything to take care of those children. They will not abandon the children, the wife, the children will not go to school because their father died early. Can you please address that?
Thank you very much. If there is unity, there is oneness. You don't need to be told that the responsibility has already been transferred to you when your brother dies. You don't need to be told. You don't expect anybody to come and tell you, this is your responsibility. The day they die should be the first day you move them to your family, or you take the whole responsibility of them. You don't need to be told. Anybody who does that, to me, is an act of irresponsibility. That person is not responsible. If other people can take care of children or families that are not related to them, how much more your blood relations? It's an act of wickedness. He doesn't need to be told that the onus lies on him to take care of the family, because he doesn't know what the family will become tomorrow. If tomorrow those families become great and there is a reversal, does he know what those children can do to him? So if it's a place where there's unity, it doesn't need to be told. You know my story when my junior brother lost his wife and he has an issue. We were not told. Immediately we are leaving Abuja, I came with the daughter. It is your responsibility. You don't need to be told.
Don't even know that
it becomes your own. It becomes your responsibility. If you wait for others to tell you, that means you are not responsible. I'm sorry to use that language. You don't need to be told. They have become your family. Even when the father is alive, it's part of your responsibility. If we are not okay, it is your responsibility. How much more the head of the family is no more. You don't need to be told. It's an act of wickedness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel, in that light, even okay, why not take up the responsibility to take care of those children? Do you take care of them less than you take care of your children?
Not at all, ma. Not at all. Posterity will not forgive you if you do that. Anything you want to give to your kids, they can have. The school your kids attend, that's what they should attend. The clothes they wear, that's what they should wear. If you know you cannot take care of another man's child, don't bring him to your house. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So we are going to the final session today. I just wanted us to just finish this session so that we don't have a part 2 of it. Leadership among siblings. You can see that leadership is not by who is older a lot of times. Like Reuben, he's the eldest one. He was trying to correct his younger ones that they shouldn't kill Joseph. Anyone among the siblings correcting a wrong as taking up the leadership position at that point in time. So when correcting wrong with sibling, how should it be done? Diplomatic? Should we do it lovingly, authoritatively, or forcefully? How should leadership be handled amongst?
Hello? Hello? We seem to have lost you. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you, sir.
Auntie Tony, are we hearing you? Hello? Hello? Can I go on?
Maybe you should go on, sir.
Okay. I don't think he's hearing us, but let me still go on. You see, the issue of leadership, we have to be very, very careful. It is true there are some people who don't have leadership qualities. You see, in the class, in the office, in the church, at home, there are some seniors that don't have that leadership qualities. But even at that, if such person is the head of the family or is the most senior, there is a way you still leave that leadership position to him and help him out. You don't say because you possess leadership qualities and as a result you want to claim the leadership role at the expense of the most senior person. No. You bridge the gap for him. A leader must always be a leader. He's the most senior, he's expected to be the head of the family, or he's expected to be the most senior, is expected to be the one that will direct the affairs. And the quality is not there. You help him out. Cover his lapses. Don't just abdicate the leadership position to yourself. When you do that, others that may be your senior or others may not like it. And they might not take it lightly with you. So the best thing is you must not abdicate the leadership role. Let the most senior person be the one that will lead. If the qualities are not there, bridge the gap for him. That's my own opinion anyway. Thank you. Satoyi. Hello?
I think our network has a problem.
Yes, his network is bad. I know she didn't hear us. But I think that's the way I look at it. Whoever is a leader, even in the church, the leader at times might not possess some qualities. But in order not to expose the lapses, cover it up for him. Cover it up for him. Today, the president of the country is not the most senior person in the country. But even at that, because God has made him a leader, but even at that, if you cover his weaknesses and you don't expose it, tomorrow it might come to your turn. There might be some areas that you are not up to the task. Others will cover it for you. They will cover your weaknesses for you. That's the way I look at it. Thank you, sir.
I agree with you, sir.
Okay, it's back. Yeah.
You want to add something to that, sir? Dr. Samuel, you want to add something?
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Jacob called Esau my Lord. Imagine when they were growing up.
Your line is breaking, seriously.
I said Jacob called Esau my Lord. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking to, the question is for Dr. Samuel. Imagine how much he must have disrespected Esau when they were growing up. Do you think he would have accorded him respect if Esau had not been a successful person on his own?
Well, I think otherwise. That respect he was giving to Esau was to pacify Esau so that Esau will not take this. He was afraid Esau would come. He was actually afraid. He knew what he did was bad. He wasn't expecting that. You see, you've not seen your brother over the years. Brother ran away, maybe because you were angry. Now you are now happy. Brother now sent a message to you want to meet you, and your brother was scared what he would do. So he did it the first by, second by, thinking that would send some slaves and some flocks ahead of him. When Esau will see those flocks, maybe Esau will be greedy enough, thinking Esau was seeing himself, be greedy enough to take those ones, and thinking if Esau should smite those ones, he will now run. But when Esau got there, he said, "What are all these things?" He said, "Those are the things I used to come and appease to my Lord." Esau told him that God are also blessing. So those things he was doing was just to appease to Esau. He was scared. He knew what he did was strong, and that was good for David. For Jacob to know that what he did was wrong by trying to amend his way. Well, no matter how brothers, what must have transpired between brothers, mending ways is still the ultimate. They must be. No matter, congratulations. No matter what must have transpired, mending ways among the brothers is still the ultimate. Nothing should keep brothers apart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Our power has been restored. See how I'm sweating. My final question. I'll go to Mr. Oluwalere first. What kind of mindset should siblings have towards themselves?
What kind of mindset should siblings have towards themselves? Thank you very much. That's a good question. If you want to succeed in life.
That's our final question. Our final question.
I'm answering you. If you want to succeed in life, live and let others live. If you stample on others, you don't want them to live. I tell you, you have already created a cog in your own wheel of progress. So the mindset we should always have towards our siblings is that if I want myself to be successful, I also want my siblings to be successful. I want each and every one of us to see ourselves at the top, so so that we can share our testimonies together. There is joy in sharing testimonies together than you be on the top sharing and others don't have any testimonies to share. There is joy in sharing it together. So we should have a mindset that, well, if I want my family, my siblings, my children to be successful, I also want others that are not from my lineage to be successful as well. That's the answer I will give to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The question to Dr. Samuel, what kind of mindset should siblings have towards themselves? The final word.
Thank you very much. For siblings, they should just try to obey the golden rule. Do to others what you want others to do unto you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And by doing that, Jesus Christ said, love your neighbor as yourself. If you teach them that loving one's neighbor as yourself, treating everybody right, treat them as if this is the way I want to be treated. I think that's a golden rule. This world will be a better place, both for them and for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In a bit short summary, we have been able to say that if you are loved, be more careful. The favored child should be humble and be cautious. Life cannot give us everything you desire. Value relationship than the gain in the relationship. What can I give to people, not what you can gain from them? Life is not about financial gain. When we wish others good, it will be better for us. See the end of a holder is not always good when a person or things. You also mentioned that incest is better prevented than managed. We also need to understand that we can sincerely trust our sibling. If you are not trustworthy, you won't trust others. When brothers fight to hurt themselves, it is strangers that inherit their inheritance. So we come your way again. Put it at the back of your mind that the characteristics of a good brother includes love, sacrifice, faithfulness, honesty, trust, care, protection, patience, episode of RMT, where it is sizzling hot, interactive, and transforming. Bye for now. Dr. Sam, bye.
Good night, everyone. If we learn to love people like ourselves, the world will be better for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Mr. Lualere.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Learn the habit of being good to others. Do unto others what you want others to do to you. And our society will be a better place to live in. One of the reasons why we have crises here and there is selfishness. I want to have everything to myself. And at the end of the day, you see a lot of crises here. So if you have a wide mind, you do to others what you want others to do with you or to you, the world will be a better place. Have a nice rest. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.